Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm going to be doing an update video on the beach amplifier, which is like update number 2000 or something. Yeah. Anyway, I might think I just want to start from the very beginning, instead of just trying to briefly go over everything, right? So it's almost as if I'm doing like a new video, just going over everything. All right. So basically, I'm going to start for the beach south, right? Beach south side, they are spawning over here, right? So they're spawning over here, some over here, some on here, right? But overall, they're spawning all in this area, right? And essentially, what I'm going to try to do is move all the husks into over here, right? All the husks towards the east side of the map, right? And the reason being is because there's a really nice pit over here I want to take advantage of, right? So I'm going to take advantage of the pit and launch them in there, right? So this is pretty much similar to like my first couple videos on the beach amplifier for the south side. The only difference is that I'm trying to build it a lot cheaper, more effective. All right. So yeah, pretty much I have all of these guys go all the way in here and path them all in here. Right, it's a little tunneling system over here just to help kill some trash, right? Doesn't have to be all the trash in the world, but try to kill a little bit. I can even probably put like wall launcher here, probably put like a wall launcher here, wall launcher there, probably could do that. Personally, I didn't think it was like completely necessary, but you know what, I can just put it in there just for you guys, right? But so you can do something like this, push them over here, push them over here. You keep in mind though, on the other side of this wall launcher, there is a chance for there to be a mispod, right? I think it's in the, actually no, I think it's this spot actually. I think it's this spot. So this spot, there's a chance for it to be a mispod, right? Yeah, this spot, pretty sure, right? So you can either just launch them in here, right? But I think I just want to be extra safe because of the mispod can spawn here, and I just don't want to screw up any tunnel because of that, right? So just keep in mind, when the mispod spawns, it destroys this one and destroys that, right? So keep in mind of that, okay? And actually, yeah, you know what? I'll just leave it like that. So because of that, just I didn't want to try to build a risky build in a sense, right? So there's a mispod spawn over here, and there's also a mispod spawn right in here too. Right, so there's a mispod spawn right in here, so you gotta be extra wary of that. Okay, so over here on target and over there on the rally point, there's those two mispod spawns. Okay, but if you know those spawns, right, then it's not too much of a threat because all it's gonna do is just destroy the walls around it, and it's not really that big of a deal because they'll still go path in here, right, when they're for the mispods, right, and that's, in my opinion, no problem. All right, but yeah, pretty much this tunnel is just going to be some wall launchers, a little bit of broadside to help kill some trash, and just a bunch of gas. All right, I can probably remove this gas trap. Yeah, I can probably remove that gas trap because they're going to try to path over here. Yeah. But yeah, once they get over here, this is going to be a 4 times impact floor launcher, launch them all the way inside. 3 times impact floor launcher, launch them all the way inside. 4 times impact wall launcher, because this is offsetting with 3 times impact wall launcher, floor launcher over here. So this will wall launch all the way over here. Now to keep in mind, wall launchers do have some vertical height, right? So when they get launched, they actually go jump a little bit, right? So this is why it's actually, in my opinion, very important to have this wall over here. So in case that vertical height gets a bit too high and knocks them over here, then at least they'll still get, they'll still fall down. Okay. Once that is over there, and then we have 3 times impact floor launcher, 4 times impact wall launcher, 3 times impact floor launcher, 4 times impact wall launcher, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter too much, in my opinion. It's just important to get them into the pit, right? And in the end over here, I have a 5 times impact wall launcher, just launch them all, sweeping down here too. So we have essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles of death, but you don't really want them in here, right? When you get them in here, and then this will launch them out there, right? But ideally, you do not want them in here at all. Okay, so either way, one of these will activate and they'll get launched into the pit, and that's pretty much the build, really, in terms of the tunneling, right? So the beginning part over here, just build however you want. You can even extend it further if you wish to do so, right? But but in my opinion, I want to build something which it will work very well, and I don't have to put so many traps for it, right? And this is one way to do it. You can, if you want to, you can actually build even more block offs. You can build even more block offs and path them one more tile more east. I thought this was a little bit more risky. And the reason why I find it more risky is because of the mispod spawn over here, right? So the mispod spawn over here, breaking this wall, right? And the mispod spawn is also, it's not only going to do that, right? But it's going to prevent you from doing a block off in this tile too, right? So he was like, you know, I'll just do it this way. And this, by the way, is safe for the mispods. Okay, so that is the tunneling for the south side over here. You can put additional traps over here too. I've done it in my previous videos. And again, my opinion, not necessary. Remove traps, save yourself some structures, alright? And this side over here, there's some additional block offs over here. And this is just to prevent the Husk from wanting to bash in through the walls over here and going through this tunnel over here. Because unlike my other videos, I'm actually pathing them one tile more east, right? One tile more east. So because of that, this side actually needs a little bit more reinforcements. Alright, just a tiny little bit though. That's it. You can even, if you want to, put you can put a wall over here for extra reinforcements. I think actually, you know what, that might be better than here, right? Because it's gonna have more health. You know what? No, I'll just leave it anyway. It's fine. I'll leave it. But anyway, let's go over to the block offs, right? So the block offs, I did some edit changes to it. So over here, just make sure you block it off with this, with either this or with this, right? If you do this slant over here, so if you do a slant like this, this actually adds one additional layering for smashers, because smashers do need to break this in order to get through, right? I didn't do that because I felt like it wasn't needed, right? And besides, I'm doing it over here. I'm not doing it for this side over here anyway. So if we did something like this, this would actually add additional layering, right? We got to do it for both tiles though. Okay. So block off over here. So pretty much it's going to start as like so. Right. So once they get inside in here, right? You can see inside over here. So that's flat. So everything here is flat. Right, so that's the first layer. This is the second layer over here, right? From the inside. And this is the third layer, which is wrapped all around here, third layer, right? Fourth layer over here, right? So either one of these walls be the fourth layer. This is just a roof for this ass tunnel. 6 layers, these slants, right? 7 layers, these little floor pieces, 8 layers walls around that, 9 layers, which is these floors over here, 10 layers, which is the these thingies inside in here, right? 11 layers, which is outside in here, right? And then from there, you can just add more layers inside the tunnel. So as we get 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, like almost 20 layers in total, right? But ideally, you want to build this many layers, right? For this ass tunnel. So maybe I can just like jump over here and just like, you know, do like kind of overview of all these layers, how I'm doing it, right? And this is just wrapping all this around, right? So you see these layers over here is wrapping it for this particular corner in here, right? So there's a particular corner that it can slide on, right? There's a particular corner that it can slide on, which I guess it's a little bit hard to see. Right, so you see they can slide in this corner, so I'm just wrapping around that. Man, there's so many friggin' block off in here. Let's see, I think I have that, and there we go. Alright, so this is just wrapping that around with this wall in between, wrapping this around with those half floors, wrapping it around with the box, and then the full wraparound sandwich, right? So it's like a full wraparound sandwich, right? The insides all fully wrapping around that. Okay, and that is essentially going to be the layering for this beach south, and it's actually overkill in my opinion, a little bit overkill, but it's really necessary, especially for nature waves, because they're nature waves, they like to just smash shit, right? And you really can't stop them. So you just gotta build, in order to stop them, you just gotta build more layers, really. And this ass tunnel I designed over here, this is 100% optional. If you're on the amplifier, you do not need this ass tunnel, right? You do not need the ass tunnel over here, right? Ass is not needed here. The only reason I have the ass tunnel here is that when I go for another amplifier, it's 100% guaranteed that they will path over here. The way I designed my valley will not path the assassin husk over to the valley, right? The assassin husk will not path towards the valley into my tunnel. I tried it before and it don't work. It don't work, right? So I had to do something else, right? So I had to just use these, right? Which is just basically this ramp over here and then they'll walk up here, right? If this ramp gets destroyed, right, which it can, but rarely, there's a backup ramp over here, right? And they can walk up here. Okay. And this is just gonna loop all the husks back in here, right? So it's just a nice little recycler for the assassin husk. The bosses that spawn actually can path up here too, so that's a nice little thing too. Now I use these half low walls. The reason why I use these half low walls is actually more or less to try to prevent phasing. So if a husk is very close to a launcher, especially like a husk with a small hitbox, for some reason there's a chance for it to actually phase through the wall. It doesn't make sense. So what I figured is to try to use these half low walls to prevent the husk from trying to phase through the floor. Try to phase through the wall, sorry. If they phase through the floor, then just fall down, I guess. But yeah, it's just to prevent them from phasing through the wall, right? So they just get, so they'll act, and they'll still get launched over, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then they have these flat piece over here to actually connect them over here, so they can actually path to either you or the amplifier on here. Not many husks will come over here, to be honest, right? But it's more or less for the assassin husk when I'm somewhere else on the map, and they will not path towards my valley, right? Because in order for them to path towards my valley, the way I designed it is to path them all over. Is to have them walk over here, walk over here, walk over here, walk over here, right? It's just like a huge zigzag for the husk, right? And the assassin husks actually are not going to take it for the way I designed it. So I thought this would be fine. Okay. But yeah, that is pretty much the beach south side. Let me just upgrade these. And I have this wall over here, so when husk gets launched in the pit, right, they'll just run all the way back over here and either take this long route in here or they path over here, right? Either way. So beach east. So essentially beach east, we're gonna start over here. Right, so this is the main spawn. Like pretty much 80 to 90% of the husks are going to come here. Sometimes 100%. Right, they're going to come spawn in this area. Right. Essentially, all they're going to do is just path up here, and with a floor spike, gas, and then just launch it in the pit. Just start launching in the pit as soon as possible. Launch in the pit. Launch in. I guess these ones are launched them back, but yeah, just launch them in the pit. And that's pretty much what the beach east should be, right? This is an assassin type tunnel. If you're somewhere else on the map and you just want the assassin husk to like just not follow you, then you just launch them over here and just keep looping them, right? Especially for laser boys. Laser boys is a popular thing. But yeah, now this is let me go over the impacts. This is 3 times impact, I think, or actually no, this is 2 times impact. 2 times impact is enough over here for higher durability. 3 times impact, or no, 5 times impact. This one's 5 times impact. Launch them all the way back here. 3 times impact, launch them back. 3 times impact, launch them back. 3 times impact, launch them out. Okay. This over here, a wall launcher, 4 times impact, 4 times impact. Right. So the reason why these are a little bit higher is just so that I'm encouraging them more so to path over here instead, right? Because this area over here, there's a spawn over here, but it has very low density. Because it has low density, I just want more husks spawning over here. Not spawning over here, but launched over here, so they're more encouraged to take this path instead. Once they get over here, and then there's a wall launcher, floor launcher combo. So 3 times impact, 4 times impact, 3 times impact, 4 times impact, 3 times impact, 4 times impact, blah, 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 right? So essentially just make sure they have different reloads and just launch them into the damn pit again. If you want to, which is way overkill, you can actually use a floor launcher over here and also launch them all the way into the pit, right? Using like something like this kind of system over here, right? You can kind of use that, you know, right? And you can launch in the pit down here, right? It's a little bit more difficult because you actually do need a lobber shield for this. If there's flingers that are too close, if they're too close over here, and they actually will try to path over here and start flinging, right? So it's a little bit more difficult to actually do right. So I just don't do it at all. And to be honest, this is good enough, especially when you place down base, right? As soon as you put down base, if you want to place down base anyway, this is more than enough, right? Just to launch into the pit down there, right? It's just literally nothing should get past here, unless, like, for whatever reason you're staggering Husks, right? Which you shouldn't be doing, right? But yeah, so I have a little bit of a thing over here where I put 2 floors over here and a wall, right? So this wall is what is going to prevent the Husks from doing. So sometimes they recycle back here, right? Sometimes they get launched in a pit, they go all the way around, and they get recycled over here. So they have 2 decisions. 1, to take this path, which is cool, that's fine. 2 is to take this path over here, right? So to prevent them from trying to path over here, right? Path them like this is not going to let them meet the wall launchers. I'm going to put a wall and make that so that they're on these tiles, and now they're going to path over here, right? Right. The Husks are not going to do like a little zigzag to avoid the launchers and go over here, right? They're just going to go wherever you want them to naturally go, right? So this is natural for them right over here, and they're meeting with wall launchers and launching back, right? And of course, there's a little bit of wooden floor spike over here just to prevent them from going too fast. All right. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the east side. There's a wall launcher over here. Wait, why not a wall launcher here? There's no need for this wall launcher. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You just launch them into the damn pit. There's not really much else to say about it. The beach east again is a very easy build, so you want to build as little as you can for the beach east. But you do need a lobber shield over here. So I can actually explain the lobber shield. You do need a lobber shield here, so this covers everything that can fling from here. So this is 8 tiles over here from the amp. 8 tiles over here from the amp. And then, over here on target, they can fling from over here too, right? So this is another danger spot, right? So that's why they have these little extra ones up there, because they can fling from that far away. Okay? And they can fling from here too, so this is also all covered up. So this is actually, yeah, I think this lobber shield is perfect. So some people might consider this overkill, but trust me, there are flingers that can fling from really far away. You'd be surprised, right? So over here is like 9 tiles. You know, over here, sorry, is 9 tiles, right? Yeah, so over here is 9 tiles, and they can fling from here, right? So you just got to be really careful about that. Whew. But yeah, that is pretty much it, right? Ooh. Yeah, this is also another thing too I noticed. I think I had before, a flinger was trying to fling from here, right? So what I did is make this wall over here, and they stop flinging. So yeah, there's these little details here and there that you're gonna need to pay attention to. But I think that's pretty much it for the beach video. Well, what else can I say really? There's this thing over here. I don't know if this works, but someone told me that if you don't have this here and they're down here, they'll fling at your base. I'm like, okay, well, I'll just put it there then. But yeah, that's pretty much it. There's not really much to say about this in terms of the beach east, right? The beach east should be very easy. Again, build as little as you can, right? And make a very good working build, right? And the build should be revolving around launching things into the pit, right? You shouldn't be really doing anything else other than launching things into the pit and then launching them back into the pit again and again. The beach south is a little bit cheap. It's also trying to be a little bit cheap, but it's going to be a little bit expensive on the block offs, right? So the block offs are expensive, but the number of traps you're going to be using, I want to minimize as much as I can, right? So that I can utilize the pit yet again, right? Because there's this lovely pit here. I just want to path them, be a little bit more greedy, path them over here, launch them into the pit. Yeah, I hope you took something out of this video. This is more like an update video, but I guess it went a little bit more than I thought it would. But yeah, have fun building.